All right, so now let's look at factors affecting credit. So this is going to give us an example of what affects our credit by how much. So what's important when determining whether or not our credit is positive or negative. So we see here in this circle graph or this pie chart, of course, we know that the bigger things are more important, the smaller things are less important or less impactful. And let's take a look and see. So we have here a $3,000 balance owed to Ford Motor Credit for auto financing. So let's see here. What do we think that would be? And that's going to be the amount owed. So that's rank 2 because he owes $3,000, and so that's the second highest or has the second highest impact or influence on credit. Consumer currently holds one home mortgage, one credit card, and one installment loan. So those are the types of credit. And it's not really that big of a deal. It does impact your credit some, but it's not the most important thing. So that's probably last place. So rank 4 or 5. First established credit in 2005. So that's length of credit history. And so length of credit history is pretty big. That's the third biggest thing that affects credit. 3 auto loan inquiries in the last month. So those are those new credit inquiries. 3 of them, it's not terrible, but that could hurt his credit a little bit. But when we look and see the amounts, that's kind of the smallest piece also. So 4 or 5. So that's going to be the impact on his credit. And the last one, payments to Credit Corporation of America were made on time. Now that's good. That's his payment history. Payment history is the number one best way, easiest way, top contributor, the most impactful thing to your credit. So making your payments on time every single month is going to be the best way that you can impact your payment history and your credit. So it is a good thing to have a credit card. It is a good thing to owe a little bit of money on that credit card and just pay that little bit off every month. So charge a little bit, pay it off, show that good payment history every single month, and that's how you're going to establish that good credit history. And finally, I want to review. I know we already looked at this, but I want to look at it once again, before we finish today. We'll be able to answer some questions here. Why is credit important? So why is my credit report important? Why do I need to maintain good credit? And so the reasons why we already talked about, but we'll talk about again briefly. Lenders may use your credit report to decide whether you can get a loan and the terms and interest rate for that loan. The insurance companies are going to use it to decide whether you can get insurance and also set the rates you will pay. Employers are going to use your credit report to decide whether or not to hire you. Telephone, utility companies will use your credit to decide whether or not to provide services for you, or if they do, to charge you deposits. Landlords are going to use this information to determine whether or not to rent an apartment or a house to you. So your credit is hugely important because you cannot really do a whole lot with bad credit. You're not going to be able to get loans. You're not going to be able to get insurance potentially, not without paying a whole bunch. You're not going to be able to get a lot of jobs, especially good jobs, telephones, utility services, things of that nature, rent houses. So it's definitely an important thing to take care of your credit and make your payments on time. Do the things that positively impact your credit. With that said, go ahead and finish today's lesson. And if you need help, I'll see you in the Google Meets.